Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Forced Fumble with Kylo Ren. This week we'll be going over the Cowboys and Eagles game. Score was pretty close, but it was pretty close throughout the whole game. I want to specifically highlight this is this is the Eagles stream. I want to specifically highlight the Cowboys gameplay in this just to help him out a little bit. He's got a lot of good pieces. He's got Rosen, his SS superstar development now, and his offensive line is outstanding. But we will go over some of the things that he needs to correct, and that I suggest that he kind of leans towards a little bit more here in his gameplay, and specifically his play calling. So starting off right from the beginning, here's the first play of the game on offense for the Cowboys, and let's just watch it first to see what happens.
I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Alert!
Play action here with Rosen.
Boom, catch, Michael Gallup. On the surface, 16-yard gain, first play, first reception. Okay, looks like things are going to be pretty good, right? Here's the thing, though.
Here with Rosen.
Back up a little bit. So, the Eagles are bringing all-out pressure here. Now, nothing against the Eagles. That is extremely aggressive, and most users who are more successful in the league do not do that. They'll come out, and if it is a 3-4, they'll come out and be in some kind of cover 3, cover 1, something that's kind of a more run stomping kind of coverage, just in case that the opposing team does decide to pass. And you'll see later in this episode how that kind of bites the Cowboys in the butt a little bit about how much he goes to this play action decision on first down. But this, even though it does work, look at this hole right here. Full blitz, huge hole. This Cowboys offensive line is just so good in this game. You just gotta not be afraid just to run the ball right up the middle. Like, even if it's a blitz, an all-out blitz like it was, a zero blitz, there's still gonna be room to run. More often than not, it's gonna be extremely hard to stop the run if you are able to commit to running up the middle more often, as opposed to trying to break it out to the outside. Especially because if when we go later into the statistics, we'll go more in depth this a little bit. But the offensive line for the Cowboys is more suited to be running inside. You have Zach Martin, you have Frederick, you have really good pieces up in the middle there. So you got to not be afraid to run the ball up the middle and run the ball on first down. This play action call here, it does work, but it's pretty good coverage here. And he has to Rosen kind of just has to throw this really quickly. Even so, he should have just dumped it off to Elliott, but he throws it really quickly. Gallup is able to get the catch animation that he needs, but that is lockdown coverage there. And if the Eagles cornerback was able to swat that would have been an incomplete pass. And then it's 2nd and 10, and nobody wants to be 2nd and 10. All right, so on this play, Cowboys are coming out in the deuce close set here. It's going to be the first run of their game. Now, one thing I want to point out is that this isn't a bad run play. Necessarily not a bad run play to call. It is risky, though, and here's why. If any pressure that's coming off the edge from the defense, this play is just going to get blown up. So what you have to do is that you have to – this just kind of goes back to committing to running the ball in the inside and just committing to running the ball in general. Just so the opponent doesn't kind of expect these runs to the outside like people like to do. It's very popular to kind of lean towards running the ball to the outside, which is kind of how users get themselves in trouble on offense sometimes because it's kind of a risky play. And you'll see it on this counter play here. It's going to get blown up right away. And even though Elliott's a really good running back, if you don't give him, any kind of space, he's not going to be able to do anything with it. So, using tosses, and while Elliott does have speed, you need to be able to commit to running the ball in the inside, and here's why. Watch this counter play.
I would dare say that this week in practice,
2nd and 5, pretty good place to be.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did.
And he's just going to get blown up.
People think the coaching staff
Nothing there. Even if 56 doesn't get off his blocker, there was another linebacker right in the hole anyway. There was nowhere Elliott was going to go. And now instead of being 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 at the very least, if the die play were to not work, now you're sitting 3rd and 7, and it becomes a much more difficult 3rd down conversion. All right, so on this play, it's still the same drive. They're able to move the ball a little bit. After that, lucky to be honest, that lucky reception by Ezekiel Elliott. But here they are, 1st and 10. This time the Cowboys do decide to go with a run here, but this is kind of just a mentality. Again, I'm going to beat it like a dead horse in this video just because of how much the Cowboys do like to run the ball to the outside with Elliott. But you have to be able to run inside. You really do have to be able to run inside. Just it throws off the defense, and it kind of makes them hesitate if there's a run to the outside. But here's the play.
Oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about
stretch play to the right here to Elliott. And actually, I think it was just inside zone. Again, I can't tell because I don't have the Cowboys stream, but here we go. First things first. This is a touchdown, or at least a very big play here. Even if he doesn't see this hole being developed by his 3 blockers, there's still more room as it develops later in the play here. There's a huge cutback lane or a lane for this inside zone to be really developed, but the tendency to break it outside. Look at this. 3 blockers right here with less than that amount of defenders in that same area. You got to be able to stick with the play art sometimes and just trust that the inside run is just going to be there. Especially with Elliott's speed and stuff, it doesn't take that much of a hole for me to be able to get through that inside zone run. So you got to be a little what's the word? You got to be a little patient, and you got to have a little bit of a discipline to be able to run the ball on the inside and just take what the defense is giving you. All right, so on this play here, big 3rd and 7 after that blown up counter play. The main thing about this is it's a lucky throw by Rosen and a lucky catch by Elliott that's not picked off. What's going to happen is that Elliott's going to come out on an angle route and be totally covered by these 2 middle linebackers here. But as you can kind of see from the start in this pre-snap setup, Witten is being uncovered, or if he's being covered, it would be by this zone linebacker here at the very least. Most likely not by this slot cornerback, but either way, he has a good little hole here right to the first down marker without really going to be being in danger of being contested by any defender. So you got to be able to see that pre-snap and know that this is probably going to be your first read now, just because of the way the defense is set up. But here's what actually happens.
But I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah,
but again,
you know better
watch
than
Witten.
He has the ability to take over a game.
This is your first read. Watch.
Yeah, I think you have to make
Open.
sure that you bottle him in.
Very open. As you can see, Elliott gets lucky that he catches it, but he even gets more open as Elliott clears into this middle area here. It's very clear that this user can see that this angle route is being developed. It's a very common route to the running back's run. Everybody knows it's coming when the running back is the focus of the play. So they know it's coming, and Elliott before the ball is not Elliott. Witten is already open here because the linebacker is hesitant to leave his zone fully. So you got to be able to throw it to this guy right here, unless the user is covering that manually. That's going to be open all day. All right, so this is actually a defensive play. For the most part, the Cowboys' defense in this game, and from what I've seen this season, has been pretty good. It's just the kind of mistakes on offense that really haven't helped them out a lot. But some of the things that you can take away from this game and improve on defense is some of the stick skills that are kind of being looked over in this Madden. So it's just going to be a post route here.
14.
And really ugly user movement there by the safety. What I like to do when it's kind of different in this Madden to user that kind of play, user control of safety in that kind of play. It's different than the last Madden where it kind of was really easy just to hit stick that guy or really intercept that ball in last Madden. But in this Madden, it's not. And even if you do make a good user play here and try and intercept the ball, and he took the right angle and stuff, but still probably would have been caught by Jackson just because of how the animations are in this game. So a tip that I would like to tell you guys and tell the Cowboys to not prevent a touchdown like this, or a poor user play, is to just take the user factor out of it. Had he gone for a swat, it might be different, a user swat. But the thing about the user swats is it's also not really foolproof in most cases, especially in a case like this. So what I do is, if anybody knows where the coaching adjustments are on the bottom of the play call screen, you can go in there and set your cornerbacks to play the ball, or whoever to play the ball in the air, and go for the swat first, or play receiver first. And what that's going to do is, don't even click onto that safety up here. Don't even click onto him and try and make a play yourself. Just let him, make that open field play. And at the very least, if they do catch it, it's not going to be a blown play like that. It's not going to go for a touchdown. But more often than not, what you'll see happen is that they'll force that ball out more often than not, especially in a play like that and in a contested environment. The animations for the person throwing the ball and the receiver catching it are going to be less favorable for them, because you're not trying to go for the interception, and because your computer is trying to get the ball out. They're not trying to pick the ball off all the time, but they still will pick the ball off. It just has to be one of those short times where it's going to be an interception, and it was just a nice play by you. All right, so here's another example of the play action on the first play of the drive that I mentioned earlier. It worked out for him before, but this one, as we're about to see, it doesn't really work out for the Cowboys as well. Just going off what defense has given you, a lot of the success in sim leagues is really just based on the user's ability to read what the defense is showing them. Right here, the defense has 6 people in the box, and everybody else is pretty much stretched out wide. With this offensive line, up the middle, and you have a tight end in, just run it up the middle. But the odds are of one of these two, the Frederick or Martin, being able to get to the second level and just get a block on the linebacker to get Elliott, at least 5 yards is really high. So run it up the middle here on the first play of the game. You want to start getting the defense to, try and guess what you're doing. You don't want to come out and, try and fake them right away, because what are you going to fake them? They don't know what you're doing. They're just going to be in a base defense and trying to read what you're doing. They're going to be in a base coverage defense coming out, unless they're extremely aggressive, but odds are you'll have seen that already by this point in the game, second quarter. So you want to come out, run the ball, first play of the game, or a short pass. Play action, not too wise on the first play of your drive at all. Unless you've been running the ball, again, it's just case-by-case basis, but unless you've been running the ball well, and you kind of really just been running it down their throat, and Elliott at this point is already at 100 something yards, then sure, definitely play action might be a smart thing to do, especially if they're stacking the box or whatever. But here, the Eagles very clearly aren't really selling out to stop the run. They're not respecting the Cowboys' ability to run the ball, and it's the Cowboys, in Madden. So run the ball first up the middle. Don't be afraid to run it up the middle. You can still get good yardage, and really it's just about getting the defense to be uneasy about what you're doing. You want to get the defense to feel like, all right, I'm not sure what he's going to come out in. A lot of times when I play, if I'm against somebody who's good on offense, who's running the ball well, and who's playing sim or whatever, I'll go to the coaching suggestions, because I'm just all right, well, maybe Madden will be able to help me out of this one, because I have no idea. So we're going to watch this play, but again, play action on the first play of the drive, never a good idea, and this should have been picked off. Yeah, should have been picked off. Both Jones and Jenkins had a chance to pick that off. All right, so here's a 1st and 10 play. Cowboys starting to move the ball a little bit here. And the shotgun set. Rosen's looking to throw. Nope, it's a draw, and Elliott just gets blown up on the play. The Eagles had that red with a blitz. Let's just go back to play calling and reading the defense pre-snap. Complacency in Madden is what's going to kill you. Right here, he picks a draw play. I don't like to pick draw plays like this unless I'm coming out and passing the ball a lot. And I'm just dicing up the defense with some passing. I'm all right, well, they're throwing a draw play here just because it's very clear that they're trying to sell out for the pass. If they're coming out like $1 quarter set with only 3 men on the line, on the defensive line, then sure, a draw play on first down might be a good idea. Or on second along the Soden special, like I mentioned in previous episodes, that's the time you want to run a draw play, not on 1st and 10. Another thing is, look at this defense right now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would call that 7 people in the box. A cornerback who's has his eyes towards the backfield, and the free safety who is down low. This middle of the field is wide open here. All right, this middle of the field is wide open. So this, even if I would have came out in a draw, I would have checked it to some kind of slants play, some kind of quick passing play. The blitz here is fairly obvious or fairly expected or should be accounted for at the very least. So again, pre-snap reads, being not complacent and just taking a second before you snap the ball to just take a look at what the defense is trying to show you, and let your other team make the adjustments they want. Just stick with what you have and just let him do whatever he's trying to do to trick you up, and then call your audible. So here, pre-snaps are important, and just general play calling. Don't be complacent. All right, so a big 4th and 2 play here, and this kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game, in my opinion. The Eagles coming out in a 5-2 set here. Very run, prevent kind of defense. And they're going to make an adjustment to the line of scrimmage here. First things first, the Cowboys really hadn't come out in a formation like this all game. It's a very run-heavy formation. And on 4th and 2, with him just running a draw play, he was like on a 3rd and long. He runs a draw play to try and seek in a first down, a Soden special. Good play call. Comes up short by 2 yards. But with a successful run play like that, and then you come out in a run-heavy set like this, your defense is going to be in some kind of run prevent defense like this, where they have a lot of defensive linemen on the line, like a 5-2 or a 4-6, where they're stacking the box. So they want to be able to prevent that run, especially a run to the outside. Now, watch what the Eagles do. Let's just go back to what I mentioned in the previous play about reading the defense. Watch what the Eagles do here. They press the line of scrimmage. So the only kind of coverage deep is the user McLeod here. There's 2 options I would have done here. I probably wouldn't have came out in this formation. You want to, on 4th and 2, you want to kind of leave the defense guessing. I like a lot of shotgun plays, or if I'm going to run the ball, I'm just going to run it up the middle. I'm not going to try and everybody's trying to guess outside toss or outside runs on these 4th and 2s, because that's what works the best usually. And I don't usually like to do that just because of that. I'm going to take my running back and I'm just going to run it up the middle on some kind of ISO if I'm going to run the ball on 4th and 2. However, how the Eagles come out in this, I probably would have waited a second and called an audible, because you have Cooper on the outside there against Ronald Darby. Probably not the probably not the best matchup for Darby. I would have sent Cooper on some kind of streak and had the tight end on the backside on some out route in case that wasn't open and the safety was covering it, like I think the Eagles might have been here. But this play was not the best play call. Watch. So what this is a power O set, and I think it was some kind of RPO option with the backside where Cooper was being, kind of that like comeback thing where he sits there, and if this cornerback plays off, you throw it to him. Sorry for the bad quality, but bad play call. That's on a 4th and 2 like that. You don't want a long developing run play where the guards have to pull and you have to read the other side of the defense or whatever, because the defense is going to be ready for a run, and you got to get that running quick to get what kind of hole is there and get your 2 yards. So not the best play call there. And again, just pre-snap reads, being able to have some patience and not being complacent with your play calls and just being willing to change and see what the defense is giving you will really help you out in the future. Okay, so here's another play that I think before the half that kind of changed the momentum for the Eagles. The Cowboys had a nice defensive stop after the 4th and 2 mistake that they had before. So here they are, 3rd and 4, and they're on 26. They come out in a 5 wide set here. Now, again, if we go back to, I mean, I don't want to keep beating, keep beating the dead horse or whatever that you want to say, but pre-snap reads. There's nobody covering Elliott right now. Nobody covering Elliott. And Elliott is a very capable pass-catching back in Madden. He's pretty much all around. I would say probably the best back in the game. Now, there's nobody on him. Even right here, I would pass to Elliott here. But, I mean, that wasn't the play call. It was a quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback draw. But just watch what happens. Kelly just gets blown up. Kelly gets absolutely blown up, fumbles the ball, and with somebody like Fletcher Cox up the middle there, unless they come out again with these draw plays, unless the defense is coming out with a 3 lineman set, I would be very hesitant to do some kind of draw play. I don't mind the play call with a 3rd and 4 to call a draw play, but minute 4 left. Even if you get those 4 yards or 5 yards, it's not really going to do a whole lot for you. You're going to need to manage the clock, be hurry up or waste a timeout. So take what defense is giving you. Free snap reads. Nobody covering him. All you got to do is just send him on a streak and throw to him as soon as the ball's snapped, and it's a first down or maybe more, depending on how how elusive Elliott can get. So again, pre-snap reads, complacency. Risky play call here with Fletcher Cox up the middle. All right, yeah. So complacency. All right, so this is the first play of the Cowboys' first drive here. Losing by 4 points, not a big deficit. They come out in this strong wing set, the same one where they had they tried to do on the 4th and 2. This time, first play of the drive. Guess what they're gonna do? Play action. And the Eagles are playing for the run here. They have a zone blitz, but it's a zone blitz. All right? And sure, Cooper is open there for a second, but here's what's going to happen. Just gets demolished, and it's just a risky play call. And now here you are, you're 2nd and 10, and you kind of run out of plays. When you're 2nd and 10 like that, you kind of have, in my opinion, you take away half of the playbook that you could use on 2nd down. With being 2nd and 10 with a failed play. Now, that doesn't mean it's a big deal being 2nd and 10, but if you want to give yourself a better chance, run the ball, get at least 3 yards, and really, what would that play have done there if it did hit? First down with only a 10-yard gain, and then you're right back to where you were pretty much. And the risk of running that is either a sack fumble, which we've seen, an interception like we almost seen already. So the risk reward there is just not there, and again, predictability and complacency. Don't be afraid to run the ball on first down. That should be your go-to, is to run the ball on first down, especially up the middle. Because if you look there, the middle would have been open. The middle left side of the line was wide open for a run because of the zone blitz. So again, don't be afraid to run the ball. All right, so looking at some of the stats around out this episode of Forced Fumble, 3-9 Cowboys. Not doing so hot, especially offensively. If you look at their total yards, they're nearly dead last at 28. 25 for passing and 16 for rushing, even with that the rushing pieces that they have there. This roster they have is set up for success. They just need to figure it out on offense, and I think the defense from there will come because there is some good things on defense. Their defense is still middle of the road, even with their offense allowing 32 interceptions. So, again, just safe play, run the ball up the middle. You have the best O-line in the league. Just commit to the run. You shouldn't be running play action on first down in the first play of the drive. Just even if the defense is coming out in something that looks like they're gonna run stuff, you just run the ball because your offensive line is so good. Even if they do blitz, there might still be a hole there, and even if there's not, Elliott, being the way he is, will still fall forward for another 2 yards, for at least a 2-yard gain or what have you. So that just about does it for this episode of Forced Fumble. I know it's been a few weeks since my last one, but I've been, it's been pretty busy here. But I will get into at least one more episode before the playoffs start. So thanks, guys, and have a good one.